Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah, our Father, and Yahusha. He is the Mashayah, the one that carries the burden of Yah, his voice, our high priest, soon coming King. Hear, O Yesharo, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one, he is one. There is no other mighty one, brothers and sisters, than Yahuwah, and Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Dawood coming to you again with the day of blowing the trumpets. When? At HEDASH. Brother Dawood, what is HEDASH? It's when the moon becomes visible in the western sky. 1/2 of a 7th part of light is transferred to the moon from the sun. The whole circumference of the moon is empty, except for that slither of light, a crescent moon, and it constitutes for you, on that day, the commencement of the lunar month. That is what we're looking for in this time of the year. Look at the word that is used. This word is used for blowing. Ta. The first letter. Look at it. It looks like an X. What does that symbolize? 2 crossed sticks. Who are the 2 sticks? The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. They are the ones who are to mark. They are to mark the day. It is a sign. The moon is the sign of feast. Then they are to make a signal. A signal with what? Look at the rest of the word. Ruah. Spirit. The breath of life that comes from Yahuwah. So you are to use the Spirit, your breath, to blow in the trumpets to mark that day with the sign that is in the heavens and give a signal to all of the rest of your brothers and sisters that the new moon has come. Why so much in the 7th month? Look, in the middle of the screen, why you are blowing these trumpets. For the return of the King. Let's begin. Wayakara, chapter 23, verses 23 to 25. 23. And Yahuwah spake unto Masha, saying, These are not the laws of Masha. Masha is the one that you call Moses. These are the laws of Yahuwah. It is he who is seated upon the throne, who handed down the law to Masha. Why do I keep saying this? Because they're trying to say that these are the laws of a man, and they are not. These laws come from the heavens. What did Yahuwah say? 24. Speak unto the children of Yisrael. Speak unto seed. Not a convert. Not the Africans, the Asians, the Europeans. One group of people. His chosen ones. The ones whom he chose to represent him. The children of Yisrael. The children of Jacob. Saying, in the 7th month. Suppose you're following the Gentiles. You will never find the 7th month. They follow Meton. They follow Pope Gregory. They use all kinds of calculations. They make adjustments. Right now you can see every single one who is making a date on the internet. You can see how they have circumvented time. Brother Dawood, how can we identify that? Because Yah has set up his own channel. We are the path keepers. We actually are showing you the path of years, how the sun, the moon, and the stars work without any adjustment or manipulation whatsoever. Everyone else has added additional months to the calendar for their religious purposes. So we can see you. We can see all of those who are following the Gentiles. We have not seen anyone else who is following Yah and the path of years. What a task he has given us. We have to teach the world how not to follow these Gentiles. They say that you have to make the adjustment to the additional month because the moon falls behind the sun in the amount of 10 days every year. So in 3 years, it would have moved away a full month. So they say we have to bring it back to the equinox, a place where we can receive a harvest. What are they saying to you? We are not depending on he who is seated upon the throne to open up the windows of heaven and pour us out a blessing that there not be room enough to receive it. We're going to take the matters into our own hands and move the moon back to the equinox, not in the sky now, just on paper. We're going to move the moon back to the equinox where we know that the rains, the dew, and the heat comes in, and we can receive a harvest. Tell me something. How has that worked for them? It has not. Yah is not pouring out his precious rain for them. They even made a statement that the barley harvest wasn't ripe, so they had to add an additional month to the calendar, when they do this every 3 or 2 years. They are deceivers. They are here to take away your salvation. Anyone who is following the days of the Gentiles are in error, and they have followed after the ignorance of the Gentiles. Let's continue. In the first day of the month. What if you're starting from the dark moon like the Jews? Can you observe anything? Is the dark moon HEDASH? There's nothing visible. They're only dealing with astronomical calculations and conjunctions. The Jews, IUIC, the Israelite brothers, and most of these people on the internet are not citing any moon. They're just dealing with calculations. So the Jews bring you in on the dark moon. You will be 1 day off from HEDASH. Will you have kept this commandment? No. From HEDASH, when the moon becomes visible, you count 14 days and the light becomes full. The Israelite brothers say that the full moon is the new moon. That is the twilight zone. Blow the trumpets at the new moon, at the full moon, on the feast days. 2 separate events, but yet they've made it one. Why? They have no reading comprehension or no understanding. It's a terrible thing when you're teaching people. Every single person in their congregation, blood is upon their hands. So it took 14 days for the moon to grow into its light to become full. And after it took 14 days, they say that day 1 is the full moon. Then they will lead you to darkness. Because when the feast days come, on the 14th in the evening, on the 15th day, and so on, you're going to be at the end of the month. The moon will be dark. Is that the way the Father created his feast days to be celebrated? When they were out in the fields sacrificing, roasting, and eating their meats, do you think he gave them darkness? Or did he give them light for their feast? It uses 2 words. Blow the trumpets at HEDASH. HEDASH is when the moon becomes visible. The whole circumference of the moon is empty, except for 1/2 of a 7th part. 1/14th part of light was transferred from the sun to the moon. And on that day, when light is first shined upon it, it constitutes for you the day of the new moon. Then in 14 days, the light becomes full. Kasa. 2 different words, HEDASH and Kasa. These are the people that you choose to lead you? People who come from the dark moon? Then you got people who are coming from the twilight zone and say it's the full moon? Why have you not checked it out for yourself? The true culprit here are those who are not Bereans. What is a Berean? Those who test, try, and prove all things to make sure that it's true. Let's continue. On the first day of the month, you shall have a Shabbat. Did you know New Moon's Day is not a Shabbat? Only 1 month is it a Shabbat. On the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a Shabbat, a memorial. When you look at the chart and you see Ta, you'll see the 2 cross sticks. You'll see that it says that it is a mark, a sign, a signal, and then it says memorial of blowing with the Ruah, the breath of life, the trumpets, and holy convocation. It's a gathering. Can you gather here? We have no place to gather. So stay in your homes. If you're by yourself and you know some people who are like you and you can connect with them, join with them. Blow the trumpets together. Eat, drink, and be merry. We're heralding in the return of the King. 25. You shall do no servile work therein. You cannot go to your workplace on that day. But at home you can bake, you can boil, you can kindle a fire, everything you need to prepare for your feast. Yeah. But you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. Brother Dawood, are we to burn a lamb or something on the grill? Well, you can cook all the lamb you want to. But the offering that is made by fire unto Yahuwah has to be carried out in the heavens by the one who is required to do this for you on this day. Have you identified who that is? He is your high priest. His name is Yahushua. Soon he's going to be our king. That's who we're blowing the trumpets for. Listen to how powerful our master, our king, our brother is going to be. Well, he already is. When he first came on the earth, he was a prophet. He went into the heavens to be our high priest. When he comes back, he's going to be our king. He's held all three offices. Who better to lead us than someone who has held all of the offices and aced them all? So on this day, you don't have to offer up anything. Only thing you have to do is be a participant. Eat, drink, be merry, blow the trumpets, and have a good time. On this day, I'm going to be with my family here in Florida, my support group, my children. Yeah, I'm going to hang out with them. We're going to blow the trumpets together. Yaremeyahu, my little man, Alashaba, his sister, and my little one, Yahilia. You would probably cry if you saw these children in action. They are magnificent. They're praying for me always. I remember Alashaba came over the house to bring me sustenance and things with Princess Maya when I was sick. And I asked her, I says, Alashaba, are you praying for me? And she turned without hesitation and she said, always. And my little baby, oh, it's the cuteness. It is pure cuteness to hear her pray. Yahilia starts, Our Father. It's the most beautiful thing that you can possibly imagine. These children are fasting. These children are praying. These children loves Yah's, Shabbats, and his feast days. They just love him with all their heart, mind, and soul. The children will lead us by example. I think we should follow them. They're going to be out there to spot the renewed moon. They know where to look. They know how to calculate it. They know everything. And as soon as they sight it, they're going to start to blow the trumpets. on that day, you and your seed, buy them little trumpets. Go to the dollar store if you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. Buy them little horns. And when you get out there and you spot the renewed moon, blow the trumpet, celebrate, give praise, glory, thanks for this great day. Brother Kuya's calendar. Thank you, Brother Kuya. His calendar is pure simplicity. It's simplistic and perfect. Do you guys know what Brother Kuya is actually doing for you? He is overlaying the lunar calendar that's in the heavens on top of Pope Gregory's calendar that's here on earth on paper, so that you can find Yah's days in this matrix in which they have created for us. Okay. Identify day number 18 in red, which signifies Pope Gregory's calendar for the month of July. Got it. Let's read what Brother Kuya's put in the box. It is the 18th day on Pope Gregory's calendar, but it's the 29th day on the lunar calendar in the sky. See the difference? Let's read what he says in the box. It's our 4th Sabbath day of the month, and it's our projected new moon and Feast of Trumpets in the evening. What does projected mean? We cannot confirm it until there's a sighting. You always go out maybe 2 days out of the month. Yeah. The 29th day and the 30th day. You know the 29th day you have to go out to look for the renewed moon. Why? Because that would be your last Shabbat of the month, and the moon could come out for the next day. Or it could skip a day, and it could come out on the 30th day. Go to the next box. Number 19. So if we do not spot it on 18, then we come to the next evening. It's the 19th day of the next evening, and it's the 30th day in the sky. The months cannot go beyond 30. All right? Let's read what he has in the box. It is the projected new moon and Feast of Trumpets in the evening. Got it. So you spot the renewed moon in the evening, and when you see it, take your picture, send it to me. Yeah. So that we can do our report. But this month, as soon as you sight it, the instant you take the picture, call me or put it in your email so that I can sound the alarm on the channel. It'll be something quick and simplistic. It may be only one word with a picture. HEDASH. Once you see that, or you receive that, an alert on your phone that Brother Daoud put out another video, you can blow the trumpets if you did not see it where you are located. We know already by counting the day number 20 is New Moon's Day. How does a day work? From the evening of the 19th to the evening of the 20th would be New Moon's Day. All right. We sounded the trumpets. We made a signal at the sign that is in heavens, the moon. Yeah. Now we're going to make our memorial. We're going to memorialize this day as the first day of the lunar month so that we can count from this day to the Day of Atonement. When does the Day of Atonement begin? Let's count. 1. You see everything in blue? We're going to count from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the evening of the 9th, from the evening of the 9th into the evening of the 10th is one day. That would be your Day of Atonement. So the Day of Atonement is going to start in the evening of Friday, the 28th of July, to the evening of Saturday, the 29th of July. One day, from evening to evening, you are to afflict your soul. Then after this day, after the 10th is over, you are to count from there 5 more days, starting from 10, 11, 12, 13, then you come to the 14th day. Let's read what Brother Kuya has in the box. It is your second Sabbath day of the month. It is a full moon and day 1 of the Feast of Booths. Yeah, Tabernacles. In the evening. How does that day work? From the evening of the 14th by the moon, it's the evening of the 2nd by this solar calendar. You will come to the next evening, which is the 3rd in yellow on the solar calendar, but it would be the 15th day by the lunar calendar in the sky. It begins your first day of the Feast of Booths. How many days would it be? 7 days. You would come to number 9 in yellow, and it would be 21 days on the lunar calendar in the sky. And then the book says that you are to have an additional day, an 8th day. You see number 10 in yellow? It'll be 22 on the lunar day. Let's read what Brother Kuya put in the box. It is the 3rd Sabbath day and the 8th day of the Feast of Booths. This would end your feast for the 7th month. There's 3 here. Look what you're going to do. You're going to blow the trumpet on the 20th. When does it start? From the evening of the 19th to the evening of the 20th. That's the first day of the lunar month. You're sounding the alarm. You're alerting your people. You're sending a signal. Why? Because 10 days from here, you're going to be in the Day of Atonement. Everyone will know, once you've identified day 1, that you come to the 9th day of the month, the lunar month, in the evening, and that's when you begin your fast. You are to afflict your soul. So you sounded the trumpet, you alerted everyone, you counted your days, you came to the Day of Atonement so that everyone can be cleansed of their transgressions of the law. Then 5 days later comes Tabernacles. Feast of Booths. What does that mean? He's coming to tabernacle with us. So you sounded the alarm of the return of the king. The high priest is going to cleanse you on the 9th day in the evening, to the 10th day in the evening. And then you're going to count 5 more days. You're going to come to the Feast of Booths, the Feast of Tabernacles, where he shall tabernacle with us. Yeah. And then you are to have an additional day, the 8th day, and your feasts are finished. He could return here. This could be the time. This is the time of the cleansing. We are sure we have the right day. We have followed the path of years since 2019. Undisputed. No one can dispute that. No one. We followed it according to the way Yah counts the days. How many doors in heaven? 12. How many portals in heaven? 12. How many window openings are there in heaven? 12. Corresponding to the 12 months of the year. We have counted each year 12 months, came back to the first month, and had our Passah, our Passover. We have not added to, nor have we taken away from Yah's time. But here's the crazy thing. Everyone else has. We are here to give you exactly what is seen in the heavens, with no extras, with no adjustments. And the people speak against Yah's ways. They say silly things. Like if you keep on that path, your Passover is going to be in the winter. And does he not have the ability to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing where there will not be room enough to receive it, no matter what time of year it is? For you to believe that you are responsible to bring a fictitious date back to the equinox on paper in order to find his days is to be in a strong delusion, believing lies. For all of these years, we've asked one question to all of the teachers who are on the internet, to the Jews and everyone who we could speak to. Could you show me, please, where in the Bible that it tells you, in Taruah, the prophets, or any apocryphal book, that if the barley harvest is not ripe, then you are to add a 13th month, or if the moon moves away from the sun in the amount of 20 or 30 days, that you are to bring it back to the equinox, or that you are to keep the first new moon after the equinox. None of them can answer that, because none of them exist in Scripture. The moon moves away from the sun in the amount of 10 days. So if you're saying that it's the first new moon after the equinox, you're worse than the Gentiles. You have totally ignored how the moon, the sun, and the stars work together. You've ignored Yah's time. You have spit in his face and sought to create your own time from the imagination of your mind. Then you have those who believe that they can force Yah's blessing to come down from the heavens by making these adjustments and bringing time back to the equinox. You cannot. It is fictitious. It is a lie. Yah's people are not in the land yet. He is not going to pour out his blessing to the Gentiles, to the heathen, to the Jews, to those who are in the land today. That blessing is only for us. The world knows it. But the people who the promises are for are so busy following the Gentiles that they don't know that they have denied their master and his power. Yahuol or Yahuel, Joel, chapter 2, 1 and 12. Here's my email address if you have any questions for me. Just send them. I have a lot of questions and a lot of people to deal with, but I will answer them within a 24-hour period. Do not hesitate. The time is getting closer and closer. If you have a question, I don't care what it is. There is no stupid questions. The only stupid question is no question at all. Send it. 1. Blow with the Ruah, the breath of life, into what? The trumpet. In Tisyaun. That's Mount Zion. And sound an alarm. That's a signal, isn't it? In my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. Why would they tremble? This should be a time of rejoicing, shouldn't it? For the day, the great yet terrible day of Yahuwah cometh, for it is near. It is right before you. It's at hand. Will you be ready? If you follow us on this channel, after you've checked out all the information and proven it to yourself, you will be ready to cleanse your souls. I'm going to drop down to 12. I want you to read Joel chapter 2. Therefore, also now, saith Yahuwah, listen to what he's saying, turn you indeed to me with all your heart. What do you want us to do, Great One? With fasting, with weeping, with mourning. Did you know that this was here? Did you know that the first step is to blow the trumpet? To herald in the great day of Yahuwah? When our King is going to come in the sky? Yeah. Before that great day, he wants you to turn to him with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul. Empty yourself. And then you are to afflict your soul with fasting, with weeping, with mourning. You're going to mourn on that day because you won't be eating. But yet it's going to be a celebration because you know the outcome of your sacrifice. What would be the outcome? All of your transgressions of the law will be wiped away. We have never been this close before. It's been thousands of years they've been saying, he's coming soon. But all of the signs are right before you. Can you read them? I remember Yahusha say, you see the clouds in the sky and they turn dark, you know it's going to rain. But our people cannot read the signs anymore. They cannot even read the moon. They don't know what it's all about. They don't know anything about the sun. Everyone is following the Gentiles. But on this day, I am here to proclaim to you, the dry bones have flesh on them. The remnant of the children of Yisrael have returned. We have taken back our rightful place, and we are leading the way. No one else is leading the way on the internet or in the land today, Americas. They're all following the Gentiles. But on this channel, we are following Yah. And that's why we can look at the dates that everyone else is put out there on the internet, and we can see that all of them have made an adjustment to the calendar because Yah set this channel up to be a beacon of light to the nations to show the error of all of these teachers who are teaching time. Return to Him before it's too late and you find yourself ashamed in that day. I will be releasing more information as the Spirit gives me utterance to try to show you everything you need to know before this day. This is why I need your questions, so that I can see what things that I've missed, that I may address them. I love you guys. Our time is now. Soon, we shall be ushered into the kingdom. Just hold on. Shalom.